actually 64 topics. And then the second part of that question is, you said you want to get an A in maths. How do you do it? I want you to be intentional. And what is intentionality I'm talking about? I want you to tell me if you have an active study timetable. Let me see. When the answers are up, for those of us who have a study timetable, how many of us are faithful to the timetable? Good. Come. Okay. The last one, yes. Good job. They say you have a timetable. So, boss, just a random question. So I want you to tell us, start from you, right? In a week, how many times are you doing mathematics? 4. Good. So we have. I want you to be keen. So he's saying he's doing 2 times what timetable yake maths. He's doing 4 times. He's doing 4 times. Let me ask you something. In your class timetable, mathematics inafanywa how many times in a week? Daily, isn't it? So, in your own judgment, do you think we are missing out something? Already we are missing out something. Now the second part of the question. Kuja, come here. You have to disturb us. Come. So I want you to explain to me, in your maths study timetable, or timetables on your maths, how do you choose the topic or the section you are going to revise?
How I choose to revise mathematics? As for me, what I do, in a week, there is that every day I do mathematics. So approximately, like I can say, like the 1 and 2 I do paper 1, paper 2. I just alternate. If today I did questions concerning paper 1, tomorrow I'm going to do questions concerning paper 2. Okay. Nisome
siku ya kwanza natafutana na watu wanajua mambo. Siku ya pili narudia kile nilifunzwa. Siku ya tatu naingia pepa 1. Siku ya nne naingia pepa 2.
Yes, clap for them, you can take a seat. So this is what I want you to do. We have different strategies, but I want us to do it correctly. I want you to be intentional in your revision. Because if we were to do an analysis and an honest conversation here, we will realize kuna watu wako form 4 hawajawahi soma vitu za form 1. Sio kweli? Na tunajua vizuri paper 1 is made up of form 1 and form 2. So this is what I want you to do. Monday, form 1 work. Some of you have been doing it, so you just fine tune. Monday, form 1 work. Plus. So it's a form 1 topic. Plus. It's a topic or topics. Plus 10 sums. Yes, 10 sums. Or 10 exercises. You can decide to do this section A and section B, or you can do section A peke yake on Monday. Tumeelewana? And when I say revise a topic, this is what I want you to do at this level. Wakati tuko sahi. Kama unasoma quadrants, nataka usome kuhusu quadrants hiyo Tuesday, Wednesday, hiyo form 3. Nataka usome kuhusu quadrants hiyo form 3, hiyo Wednesday. Na uende kutoka 1989. Keep quiet. Kutoka 1989 uangalie question zote za quadrants. Umeelewana? Uende kwa test and fix it. Uende kwa golden tips. Uende kwa A finder. Uende kwa main familia. Uangalie questions zote za quadratic equations. Tumeelewana? Yes. Tuesday, form 2. So kama uliamua Monday utakuwa unafanya tu section 1, 10 questions. Tuesday, I want you to do section 2, 10 questions. Ama at least 5 because they are time, tunachukua time. Tumeelewana hadi hapo? Wednesday tuko form 3. I want you to do form 3 and how many questions? 10. Yani hii a topic in form 3 plus 10 questions random. So long as inatoka section A of paper 2. So inaweza kuwa form 3 and form 4. Tumeelewana? Yes. Then on Thursday, form 4. Topic plus how many questions? 10. Yeah, paper 2. So the section B. Or at least 5. On Friday, I want you to do a complete paper 1 type. A complete paper 1. Complete paper 1. A time test ya paper 1. Because when you talk about a time. So find a complete paper. So the best thing to do, kama wewe mwenyewe una discipline sana, you can get an accountability partner. So unatafuta deskmate ama discussion mate, ama mfanye kama study group. Unafanya a whole paper. Saturday, kama unapumzika Sunday, fanya paper 2, a complete paper. Or the other way, you can do it on Sunday. Kama unapumzika Saturday, you are not writing anything. So we are good. If we are going to do that, it means we are just intentional. And this is for maths. I want you to do the same for all the other subjects. But the last one I'm going to do is chemistry. The reason is most of us say chemistry in Gomo. And I want to demystify that. Because for me, chemistry is not as hard as we think. How? I want you to give me the definition of chemistry for one. We define chemistry in Form 1 as is a study of. I want you to write that one down. It is a study of structure, so write it down. There are 4 things we are studying in chem. It is a study of structure. So answer here. Study of structure. Study of the second thing, properties. 3 components. And 4, the changes that matter undergoes. So we are studying how many things? 4. Number 1 is structure. Number 2, properties. Number 3, components. And number 4, the changes it undergoes. So I want you to go back to class 6 and ask yourself, what is matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and ask, how many forms of matter do we have? 3. So write that one down. We have 3 forms of matter: solid, liquids, and gases. And I want to pronounce a statement here. All of our Form 1 to Form 4 has always been the study of the 4 things on the 3 forms of matter. Na kama kuna mwalimu ameset mtihani outside those, unilete yeye nimpeleke rehabilitation center. If there is any question in chemistry outside the 3, I want you to just think about it. Let's start. So for you to make your life simple, I want you to write down Apple, the periodic table. Just not periodic table. I'm talking to those of us who want to at least pass in chem and do something else. So I want you to ask yourself, how many gases, because we are doing only 3 forms of matter, solid, liquid, and gases. How many gases are we learning from Form 1 to Form 4? I told you let's be intentional. So let's go to Form 1. Gas number 1, oxygen, and the carbon or gases. Gas number 2, hydrogen. Gas number 3, carbon na watoto wake. That is in Form 2, mwisho. Gas number 3 ni nitrogen na watoto wake. That is Form 3. Gas number 4, chlorine na watoto wake. Na pia the last one is sulfur na watoto wake. You will, my dear boys, you will get 30 marks from you mastering gases. That is enough for you to have a D+ and above in chem. Just by understanding what is the structure of oxygen, what are the components making oxygen, what are the properties of oxygen, what are the changes which oxygen goes through. So I want you to write down the following very fast in a list. For every element or for every type of periodic table, I want you to know, number one, the chemical name. No, studies, the chemical name. So we got like the second, the Latin name or what's the correct name? Okay. So, for example, let's talk about oxygen. So for this, so we have number one, oxygen. Sawa? Number two, the chemical formula of oxygen is O2. So that is the chemical representation of oxygen. So I want you to know the two. Number three, how it is prepared in the laboratory. How it is prepared in the laboratory. Number four, how it is extracted naturally. How it is extracted naturally. How it is extracted naturally. So that is, I'm just using oxygen, but I want you to think about hydrogen. I want you to think of the elements of periodic table. I want you to place aluminium in that table. What is the Latin name of aluminium? Chemical name of aluminium? Chemical symbol of aluminium? How is it prepared in the laboratory? If it is prepared, how is it extracted naturally? So, number five, I want you to summarize the above by words. Summarize by words. So you can be able to explain by words how it is prepared in the laboratory and how it is extracted. Now, number six, explain using diagrams. And when we talk about diagrams, we mean charts, flow charts, or any other drawing. Sawa? Number seven, know how they are collected. Know how they are collected. Number eight, know the products of the process. Know the products of that process. Number nine, know the byproducts of that process. If we are preparing hydrogen, you should know what is the product we get, hydrogen. What are the byproducts we get? Number 10, the uses of the products. And number 11, the uses of the byproducts. The uses of the byproducts. And finally, the impact to the environment. I want you to go back today in the evening when you are doing your preps. I want you to look at any question you can. Paper 2. Na uone kama si hiyo ndo maswali. Unaulizwa oxygen, how it is prepared, what is the collection process, what is the use of the product, what is the use of the byproduct, na inakuja hivyo hadi mwisho. And if you do that diligently, you are going to do something in terms of your chem. So that is it for the specific subjects. So I just want us to take the next 10 minutes to summarize your examination skills, then we go home. And now, examination skills. How to pass examination by yours truly, Patrick Egon. So the first thing you're going to do, I want you to write down examination skills very fast. Mashandika? Yes. I want to help you on this. We are going to do the following. Write down factors that affect our performance in examination. Factors that affect our performance in examination. Then 2, revision techniques. Long before exam, a day before exam, during examination time, a week to exam. And be very fast, let me repeat here. So revision techniques, long before exam, a day to exam, during examination time, a week before exam. Terms used in examinations. Terms used in examinations. The examination timetable. The examination timetable. And finally, handling examination results. So for the terms used in examination, I just want us to know the following. As a student, one of the reasons you will fail your exam is because you don't read well and understand what the question requires you to do. If you have been told to describe, you should not do what? State. If you have been told to state, you should not do what? Do the other things. So this is an introduction why you are doing exams. I will not tackle that one. But why are we doing revision? Why is the revision important for us, especially this time? The following are some of the reasons. Number 1, to remind yourself of what you have been doing all along. Number 2, it helps to identify what is the subject content of every paper. This is what you are doing. Tunajua maths iko na paper 1 and paper 2. I remember during our time, kuna wakati geography paper 1 ilikuwa iletwe. There was a guy who was doing revision for paper 2 work. He ended up wasting his time. And that is what I don't want you to do. So, number 3, it helps you to keep on timekeeping, to practice on timekeeping, interpretation of the exam, planning, and other skills which are necessary in your exam. And finally, which is very important, is it helps you to identify your loose points easily and be able to remind yourself. We started this statement by, it is possible. Actually, some of us might have lost hope as we are today. But I can tell you for free, if you decide to be serious, even these 2 months, the mission, it can actually change something in you. There are the following facts which I want you to understand, because you are going to a very important season of your life. Number 1, a teacher is happy to see the fact that you have answered all the questions asked. They are not saying you get 100%, but they are saying what? Attempt all the questions. And if you want to prove why that is important, I want you to think of an instance where you attempted a question, and or an instance where you left that question empty. And you will realize there is a time you attempted a question and you gained some marks, especially in maths. Out of 4, maybe you'll put a million. Ukichukua hizo mbili zote, maybe for 10 questions again you got blank, uko 20 marks. Tunaelewana? So I want you to attempt all the questions in that paper. Number 2, no teacher expects you to know everything, but all teachers need to see a demonstration of a good understanding and of the concepts and theories. Number 3, which is very important for us as we go to this very difficult season, is examination is not the end of the world. There is always life after the exam. And why is it important for you? Because I don't want you to stress, I don't want you to tense. That doesn't mean that you go careless, but that you pay stress which will counteract you, like final pain. Importantly, choose your questions wisely. Choose your questions wisely. Usiende hiyo pepa uprove point. Atuwe ule mziki. Nataka kuambia wewe, kwa watu wengine wakichagua zile questions rahisi, wao wanachagua zile ngumu. Tuko nao watu kama hao kwa class. What will happen? You will fail. Na hauna time nyingine ya kurecover kuambia watu kwa na proof point. That is the part A. Part B, these examiners, they are human beings. I want you to understand that. So, and they have a perception of you. So you can choose a question yenye yuko sure na uandike kama question 1. What will happen? Utaanguka hiyo sio? Na uanguke question 2. What is the perception umempea examiner? Kwamba wewe si mwanafunzi sharp, sio? If question 3, 4 and 5 of your section 2 ilikuwa questions umeperform vizuri, there is a tendency huyo examiner atafanya nini? Atarukisha ile 3, 4, 5. Tumeelewana? So I want you to do the reverse. Start with the questions you are sure you are 10 marks. Weka hiyo 1. Zinakubalika? 2, hii yenye uko sure bado. 3, yenye uko mahali. 4, 5. This is what will happen. Utakuwa umepatia impression this examiner kwamba you are a good student. So hata by the time ana mark question 3 na 4, hata kama unaanguka, atakuwa anajaribu kufanya nini? Kukutafutia marks. Umeelewana? Yes. What are some of the common mistakes students do in the examination? Number 1, misunderstanding questions. Nyinyi mnajisetia questions zenyu. Number 2, poor planning of your answers. Wewe unaandika handwriting yako ni kama Mungu amepewa slasher. Na ule examiner analipwa per paper. Analipwa 5 bob per paper. What will happen? Ata waste time kwa handwriting yako ya nyakani? No. So there are some things you will fail just because of your handwriting. So take your time to organize your work. Number 3 ni kwa special kusia. Not attempting all the questions. Usiache your question blank. You are not proofreading your work. Giving general and supported answers. Hii imecost wanafunzi wengi sana. Wewe umeambiwa question ya 4 marks. For example, kwa English, ukaambiwa identify a stylistic device and its impact. 4 marks. I want you to think like an examiner. How will we get the 4 marks? Number 1, identifying the stylistic device. Let's say irony. So, the second mark by illustrating. This is irony. The 2 other marks tutapata kufanya nini? Explaining the impact of use of irony. Paper 2, scene excerpt. iko na 4 marks. Unaambiwa nini? Place the exam in its immediate context. Sivyo? Why are some students losing the 4 marks? The same thing. Unsupported answers. Then late revision. And when you talk about late revision and poor revision techniques, I want you to have a revision timetable. You know, and what are we going to do? So you need to study timetables. Study timetables inachukua 40 minutes to 1 hour. For revision timetable, I want you to do 2 hours per subject. 2 hours per subject. Nataka uanze na pepa ya mwisho. Kurevise vizuri hapa mbele. Hiyo ni 2 hours exam, eh? Yes. Revise karibu 2 weeks. Revise kabisa hiyo tara ile pepa ya mwisho. This is what will happen. As you go towards exam, what will happen naturally? You will want to revise exam yenye nakuja. Na siku tu utakuwa umeanza exam, hautapata time ya kurevise nini? Zile za mwisho. Sasa wanafunzi wengi kitu wanafanya ni hivi. Wanaanza vizuri na nguvu. By the time wanafika katikati, nguvu imeisha. And what happens? They give up. That is what I want you to solve. Depending on exam leakage, this is important for us to understand. Depending on exam leakage. Some of us here don't want to work hard and smart. Wanasema wanapata leakage. I'll give you a practical example. Leakage ya kwanza tuliletewa. Mimi nilikuwa nimesoma and I had 5 notebooks. Na vile nimewambia msoma hadi 1989. Hakuna kitu tumeletea yenye singejua. Vile walileta hiyo pepa, nikaangalia nikapatania answers. Ilikuwa KCSE 206. Mimi nifanya KCSE yangu 209. So wajamaa walikuwa wameshakulwa pesa za kwanza. Na Rome Egerton University students walileta KCSE 206. The second leakage ilikuja ilikuwa ya business studies. Ilikuwa Kisumu mocks paper 2. Lakini at least ilikuwa better. Yenye iligonga wajamaa kabisa. Wajamaa walichanga 120,000, 2K each. Shapata 120K wakapatia polisi. Actually polisi wenye anawachunga. Hata supervisor wenu mwingine atawadanganya kuna nini? Leakage. And what happened? Ilikuwa maths. Saa 8 wajamaa walikuwa na pepa ya kesho ya maths. Ndio ulimwengu iko na maajabu. Wajamaa walirevise basa, tukarevise. Saa 2 usiku pepa nyingine ikakuja. Si ile ya saa 8. Tukafanya basi hiyo ya saa 2. Tukitaka kwenda kulala tu saa 4, pepa nyingine ikakuja. Tulifanya hiyo by saa 6 ya mwisho ikakuja. Wajamaa wakasema ikuje vile inakuja. I will wish to have a conversation after the exam because those are the things you will see. Unfortunately, kwa mtu mwenye hapo amesoma alikuwa anategemea hiyo leakage. Wewe jamaa aliumia. But now let's see. Sema leakage yenu imeenda through. Let's say Patrick wrong. Leakage yenda through. Sawa? What will happen? I want us to do a demonstration. If you have all the questions today, na tuko na huyu jamaa kwa class atakuwa akisoma, anapata wapi answers? Kutoka mwenye amesoma. Na atafanya nini hizo answers? Atazigraph vile iko. Na unfortunately juea atafikiria what will happen kwa exam? Ataandika the same. So wewe ni examiner, paper, all students 223 wa Solai boys wanataka kupata 6.01 target kutoka 5 last year. Wameandika exact answers the same. Kwa paper. What will happen? Good. You will have 3 results. Either a Y, a W, or an X. And when you have some good conversation na Madam Bay, atawambia of our friend, alikuwa Christ gas. Is it theory? Their results zilikuwa W with L. And they were actually cancelled na ilibidi wamerudia our class. So that is option 1. Urudia the whole class. That is option 1. Option 2 because the results. And option 3 ni hivi. This is what they do. Watawaonea huruma, but now they will nyonga your marks. Instead of you getting 60, you are on a 60, they do a 38 or a 40. Just to give you result. Good. Umeona sasa wenye lesi wanasema iko sawa? The same thing ilifanyika shule siku. Walisema tukate mto. So in that case, hao watu wanafanya kazi ndio wanaangusha wengine. The last thing I'll do is handling results and handling after exams. Siku ya exam, nataka ukue very sober. And how are you going to do it? Number 1, I want you to sleep well. Nataka ula? Number 2, I want you to eat well. Overeat. This is why I want you to think critically. If you mess up your stomach during that exam, uko na 2 hours ya maths, utaribas. It's unfortunate ukue mgonjwa kwa vitu ungeprevent. So acha kukula vitu ovyo ovyo. Number 3, I want you to be very sober. In this case, check on your discipline. Because kuna wengine watafanya mtihani hapa wakiwa jela. Hata kusema ishindwe and you are in discipline. Hivi ndio inafanyikanga. Unaanza kuona hao walimu ni kama hakuna kitu anawasaidia tena. That is a tendency. So what normally happens? Unaanza kwa bullying. The next thing, kesi yako inakuwa wapi? Kwa polisi. And then the last thing I want you to do during your exam, nataka relax. Mambo ikikuwa noma, relax. Sawa? Na ukitoka hiyo pepa ya maths, usifanye postmortem. Naelewa postmortem? Kwa sababu huyu jamaa atakuwa anasema alikuwa na 7.85 na Brian anasema alikuwa na 7.82 na wewe unashangaa ulipata wapi 1604? This book is available for sale. They go for 350 for Luca. But for now, Vivian and Brian, I just want you to help these guys. Just sell to them at 200. What's the price? Happy to find a successful student. Don't move. My boss. That's what they call TV boss as well as discuss. Happy to find successful students. This one goes for 350, but still 200. Then essential skills and habits for studies. The problem you have is not necessarily a funny hard work. You work hard, but it is our failed strategy. So this one helps you to retain that content. It goes for the same range. Then we have a proactive student. This one goes for 100, but I want to sell it to you. So I want you to listen. The best way to buy a book is actually by you combining yourself. Wale wako na shida na maths. This one is a revision book for you. It goes for 450, but today I want to sell to you. This is for one. Atako uzia to 300. Then tuko na scanner series. Tuko na Yajeo, tuko na Kiswahili, tuko na English, na CRE. Kwa lugha they go for 800, but today I want to sell it to you na 500. I want to call Madam to close that conversation. Oh yes, Malima Baba. This one is transiting post high school. This one teaches you what you can do after this high school and what you need to do here. This one goes for 400 and we're selling at 300. Asante sana.
To appreciate this gentleman in a very good way. Listen, lakini tupigie makofi kwa njia ambayo inafaa. I want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Egon. We had a group from Kenyatta University that came here, but they disappointed us with these boys. I want to appreciate that today, even teachers who have attended here have learned a lot from you, that we shall share with other students in Form 3 and 2. And I know these candidates have gained today, and I know it is going to impact them positively even in their souls. So thank you so much. Leo kabisa nataka tufunge. Tuliombewa na Kisaka tukifungua. Sasa kidogo tu, hatutaombewa hivyo. Acha. Maombi haifanywi hivyo. Kale kiniwacha. Nataka Silvester uko wapi? Silvester. Haya kuja. Maombi ya kufunga. Haya. Boys, we maintain the silence as we pray.
Tuweze kufunga macho tuamini na tuombe. Mungu Baba, Mungu Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu kwa pamoja na sisi. Kuweza kutongoza Jehova Jireh. Kile ambacho tumepokea kutoka kwa wageni wetu Jehova Jireh, naomba kiweze kuwa cha maana katika maisha yetu. Uweze kutujenga Jehova Jireh, na hata tunapoenda kufanya mtihani wetu, naomba uweze kuwa pamoja na sisi. Wageni wetu tunaweka mikononi mwao, uweze kuongoza, uweze kuwa pamoja na Jehova Jireh ili uweze kupeleka ujumbe huu katika wanafunzi wengine, na tunaamini kwamba ujumbe huu utaweza kusaidia wengi. Na kushukuru maana ni katika jina Yesu tunaomba na kuamini.
Good men. How do we get good men? From boys to men. Still. I'm here so that we can have a conversation with you. And I want to see the good men in yourself. Good men are gentlemen. Of course, Admission 7182. How are you? How many of us have such kind of writing material? So, boys, I did come here to waste your time or waste my time. So, if you have such kind of writing material, just walk out, get a proper writing material. Kama una usikuje, just deal with serious people. I'm not here to play games. You don't have a writing material, just go out. I want you to write down your name and the targets for your KCC exam. Yes, per subject, yes. Per subject. I want you to have a conversation. Write down your personal targets per subject. Then I want you to write down after that your personal target in terms of your careers. It's a personal conversation. You don't have to discuss it with anyone else. Vivian, can you help me? Help me by checking what is going on. Yes. Somebody first. You want something? So how many subjects are you doing? 8 here. Good. We are making good progress. So outside or somewhere, just at that page, I want you to write down your career, what you want to pursue. And then I want you to sum up, because you are doing per subject, I want you to do now the big picture, the whole target. Manila? Yes. We are not here to make noise, one single line. Pole. Then target per subject. Target per subject. I think we are now settled to start. I want to see your global target. You see? So boys, and you say you are gentlemen, eh? Yes. Good afternoon once more. Good. We can have our session. As I told you, this will be a conversation between you and me. So, yes, my name is Engineer Taraitich Patrick Yagona. By practice, I'm an electrical engineer. I'm also an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a project manager. And currently the CEO and founder of iSahara Center Group. The reason I'm here today is to make you just achieve 3 things. I want you to achieve academic excellence. I want you to achieve personal excellence. And I want to help you to transition and be great men. Yes, this is a school which is known for producing great men. And I'm sure you're also going to be great men. Yes. As shared, my first degree was in electrical and electronics engineering. And I also have a master's degree in project management and planning. And I hope to produce great men here who will be the best even beyond what I deserve. Good. So I've written one of the books, Nature, bringing out the best out of yourself in high school and beyond. So this will be our theme book today, but I'm going to focus on sections. Yes. The reason I started by telling you to write down your specific targets and your specific ambition is because when you don't know where you are going, you can get yourself going anywhere. Mwambie rafiki yako hivyo. So when you don't know where you are going, you will get yourself going anywhere. And I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to go to a specific place. So by show of hands, how many of us are ready for the session? Thank you. By show of hands, how many of us believe in their targets? Thank you. By show of hands, how many of us believe it is possible? So write down, it is possible. It is possible. And I'll tell you of a small story of what happened to me when I was in Form 1. I was told, Form 1, tell us the name in capital letters, you underline, you make it italics, and tell us what you want to be. So I said, then I say, I want to be an engineer and an author. And those who are mobilizing me, wakaniangalia wakaniambia, kijana, tingiza kichwa. Nikatingiza takumbu. And they asked me, where do you I looked around, I could not pinpoint an engineer. Then they asked me, unawaona Mkale ameandika English au Kiswahili? So I told them, I have not seen very many of them. And they asked me such very funny question. What do you think you are? Not even who. They asked, what do you think you are? And I gave them a very simple answer, which I want you to adopt from today. I gave them an answer. I am Solai Patrick Jacob. Are you your village? Mumeona mahali imeandikwa Mkale hapa? Mumeona mahali tunagawa Solai account moja? So the question is this, Ian or David, why is it that when your friend in class tells you they want to be an engineer, they want to be a neurosurgeon, what do you normally do? Wewe unamwambia nini? Yes. Nimeona hapa, they say every market is a madman. Still, nimeona a certain boy hapa anacheka excess. So most probably that is your madman for the phone call. Still, this is what normally happens. Unaambia yeye ati kutoka Solai boys. Bro, hiyo ni ngori. Hiyo ni noma. Hiyo ni noma. Kuna wengine wetu hapa wameambiwa ajaza kwenu babako akupita huko. Kuna wengine wameambiwa Solai boys akujai tokea engineer. Ati wewe Brayo wewe aje. Because, do you know why they normally tell you that? Because they cannot see your vision. They cannot see what? Your vision. So do not agree to be discouraged. That is what I want to tell you. Because just by believing in myself, today I have worked as an engineer in the following institutions. Number one, an international company based in Mauritius. I've worked as an operations and maintenance engineer. I've worked in APSC as an engineer. I've worked in county government of Nakuru as an engineer. And I'm working now in my company, Isara Center Group, as an engineer. And when I was in Moi University, I was among the first 15 students who made the first robot for the university. And today I'm proud to be teaching robotics and AI to you people. Just because I believed it is possible. Tunaelewana? As we speak today, give me this book, Nyota ya Kudurusu Sarufi na Matumizi ya Lugha. Nyota ya Kudurusu Sarufi na Matumizi ya Lugha. Kiswahili kutoka form 1 to form 4. By who? Solai Patrick Jacob. And I have written 100 plus books. And luckily you have Madam Faith. She's actually my sister. And my neighbor. So tell your friend it is possible. Mwambie hivyo. Mwambie hivyo. It is. Now, the question is 3 things. And I want us to start with the correct one. I want you to write 3 things after it is possible. Why, how, and what. Why, how, and what. Why, how, and what. So there is a book I've written like you are Great for the Road, right? Great for the Road. Gentlemen, saying that you want to be excellent is just one part of the equation. Now what follows is the 3 questions. Why? How? What? So andika hapo grit. Grit. G-R-I-T. Na uandike kama imeteremka pia. G-R-I and T. Grit. G-R-I and T. Success will never come down to your level. It is upon you to do what? To rise up and go to its level. And those are the 3 things I want us to do. But before that, I want you to understand what grit means. I want us to expand it. G for greatness. R for requires. Requires. I for internal. T for toughness. Greatness requires internal toughness. You said you are great men. Sibia? You said you are men of substance. Are we? Are we men of substance? Yes. Let me see. Are we men of substance? Yes. Let me ask here. Are we men of substance? Yes. Are we men of substance? Yes. Are we men of substance? Yes. I want you to ask yourself this question, Pole. What kind of a man will you be? And I want you to reflect the following. Unataka kuwa mwanaume wakati wa sherehe anatolewa hapo viti vya mbele, anaambiwa songa, kuna wageni. Unataka kuwa mwanaume wakati wa sherehe, the only assignment they can be given ni kuchanja kuni. I want you to think back at home and see those men ambao wanataka wanatembea with their nose imejaa tobacco wakiomba 20 bob. I want you to look back and I want you to ask yourself this. As a man, what kind of a father will I be? And I want you to reflect and ask yourself this question. This is very private. Was I born HIV positive? Was I born with syphilis? Was I born with any STI? And if not, your parents were successful. But the question is, what kind of a father will you be? Are you the father who will ruin the generation just by what happens in 5 minutes? Ile utamuya 5 minutes can ruin your life as a father. And unfortunately, men, you are carriers. In case you have an STI, especially syphilis, you are the carriers. And the only time they will know is when you have infected your unborn child. So I want you to ask yourself, what kind of a father will I be? If luckily you are in a complete family with a father and a mother, I want you to ask yourself, will my kid enjoy the same comfort I am enjoying today? Ama wewe ni jogoo wa kijiji. Naomi umerukia, Ruth umerukia, Sela, Wamboi, what kind of a father are you going to be? If you are a part of excellence, it means you will participate in serious conversations. Unfortunately for some men, their only answer or conversation in a serious conversation is here, there, why is Russia fighting Ukraine? What is your opinion about AI development? Because you cannot do what? Contribute to any conversation. Are you the kind of man who will be like Arab Lagat? Arab Lagat was working here at a university hapa Igaton. Na alikuwa anachunga Mr. Ojwang, Professor Ojwang. And I know most of us come from Kalenjin. Some, yes. And Arab Lagat was asked, Arab Lagat, what are you doing? And he said, and I'm going to translate for you, Arivengetai. Meaning, namchunga huyu kijana mwenye hajafanya nini? Hajatahiri. That is what he meant. You understand me? But my question was, between Arab Lagat mwenye ametahiri na Mr. Professor Ojwang mwenye alikuwa analala kwa nyumba, who was the man in this scenario? Nani ndio mwanaume kushinda mwingine? Mwenye analala na baridi huku nje ama mwenye analala akienjoy maisha? What is it? Yes, but there was a man of excellence, and then there was a man who wasted an opportunity. So what kind of a man do you want to be? And the Bible says, in understanding, let us be men. That's why I'm here to speak to you guys. taught about relationships. Many times, you know. And when I go to schools, nikiwaambia kuhusu relationships, wengine wananiambia, shughulika na za kwa maisha ni ya na wananiambia, wanasema wow, maisha ni ya. But let me ask you, you are just a kid of 17 years or 16. I'll come back to you from course, najua. Na umezalisha mtoto wa 15 years. Mtoto akilia ngi, mama analia ngo, na wewe unalia because watoto wamezaa nini? Watoto. And now because you unaniambia kuko 18 years and above, si ndio? Let me tell you something. Unaona kutoka next 2 months miaka 30. Miaka ngapi? Wala ambao wameelewa tunasema jela itakuwa 30 years. 35, eh? So next term, si nyinyi mko na ID sasa next term? Hata saa hii sio? Perfect. Kesi yenu sasa si ya deputy. Kesi yenu si ya DOS. Si ya principal. Ni ya nani? Ya bwana chief na nani? Haya, sema na nani? So I want you to ask yourself, how many of your years do you want to waste just because of 5 minutes? For now, we will laugh. And for now, we will be fun. And it is interesting, very interesting, until siku ambayo utamaliza KCSE na huko uketi utatoka moja. So that is a conversation on the type of people you want to be. And because I want you to be great men, I want you to develop what is called grit. Grit, I say, greatness requires internal toughness. Whatever we are going to talk about, whatever we are saying are targets, it doesn't come just like that. It needs you to persevere, it needs you to be determined, it needs you to think. So, yeah. Good. So we say the first question is, why? We asked, why? And I want you to write down under why, and it has skin in the game. Skin in the game. Skin in the game. What I mean by skin in the game is, I want you to think, what will I be losing by not getting that grade you have indicated there? I want you to write down that one. What will you lose by not attaining that grade you have indicated there? I want you to write it down. Personal conversation. Write it down. I want to see. What is this thing you are going to lose if you don't attain the grade you have indicated? I want you to write it down. What is this thing I'm going to lose? Let me see. I have to see it. Why do you need that B plus so much? So skipping the game is what are you going to lose if you don't get that B plus. I want you to write it down. And what I'm going to lose by not attaining that A. Good. Thank you so much. We are having a conversation. Nice. We are having a conversation. Let me see yours. Good. Thank you. Having a conversation? Yes. Come and see. Good. The reason that is the most important question in that cycle is, many a times will come here, many motivational speakers will come, many people will talk to you, even these teachers will talk to you. But if it doesn't start with the correct why inside you, you will not be having any progress. So men, I want you to say, what is this thing you are going to lose by not attaining that grade? And remember, for me, I want you to be the best. If your best is a C+, that is what I want you to do, to pursue. If your best is an A, I'll teach you how to get an A today. But if your best is an A, I want you to get that best. But I want you to ask yourself, what is this thing I am going to lose? That's all. The second question is now, how? And about strategy. What is the strategy? What is the strategy? What is the strategy? So, many of us are dedicated. Let me see your notes. Many of us have said they want to get an A minus, B plus, C plus. So I want you to write down for me 5 strategies you are going to use to attain that grade. You are dedicated. If you have a problem, I can come around to have a conversation with you. So there's a got to go on and come back. If you want to be helped, thinking through. What can we discuss now? But if you have a question you want a mentor to come there, I'll come. In the meantime, I want this to be a personal conversation. Let me see your strategy. I'm here to, I'm waiting. Nimetoka all the way from Nairobi kukuja kukuangalia. Kujaelewa? How are you going to be that engineer? That is is the question I'm asking you, and I want to see from your effort, what are you planning to do? Let me see. Thank you for the progress. Good. Then. Yes. Yes. Good, thank you. Sit down. But you are making good progress. Good job. Good job. Good job. Naona tu wachache tu ndio wanacheza, lakini hivyo wengine na good. So good progress. Yes, you. Apa uza jamaa. Uza. I want to see your strategy and stand here the word. Yes, if you are done writing down that strategy, I want you to write down your last score per subject. Your last score per subject. And this one, this is your strategy. This is your target. See now? So I want you to write down your last score against that target. So that we can have English, I want to get an A, but the last mark, I had this. You are the best noise makers. So let me help you. I want you to make noise to my teachers. I want you to make noise to my teachers. Hapa mbele. Let me see your last marks. Andika very fast. Nana mamaliza hapo. Good job. So, I love what you are doing now, but I have a problem. I have a problem for maths. So you know why? Let me see yours. Good. So what I'm asking you is how and what we are going to do. See now? Many of us are ambitious, which is perfectly very true and very perfect for me. But the question is, the reality is we are somewhere. See now? And we need to move from that somewhere to the next level. And what do we need to do? So I want us to answer the question, what? But before we answer that, I want you to answer another question for yourself. Very well, all of us have written very big dreams. But in reality, I've seen from our results, we have not attained that. So I want you to answer the following question for me. My small devils. Write that one down. My small devils. The easiest way to answer that question is, I will have attained this target if come and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So write that small devils. What is stopping you from not attaining your target? I want you to see that. Who wants to be helped? We can have a conversation with you. But you see, and I know most of us are surprised. Why are we talking about the small devils? And if you want to answer that question, I want you to ask yourself, who is your best friend? And at the same time, I want you to ask yourself, who is your greatest enemy? Because your greatest enemy is actually your greatest friend. Who can answer that question? I want to give out a book. Who can answer that question? I want to give out a book. I want to give out a proactive student. Who is your best friend? Who is actually your greatest enemy? Raise up your hand. Yes, let me have an answer here. Sleeping. Sleeping? Another child?
God.
Another child?
Eating.
Another child?
Myself.
Clap for this gentleman. Repeat.
Myself.
So boys, from today, I want you to note something. You are your greatest enemy, and at the same time, your greatest friend. Kuna mtu alituambia sleeping, lakini nikuulize, sleep ilikulazimisha? Some of us will say Satan. But let me ask you, kuna siku shetani amekulazimisha kudanganya? Kuna siku shetani amekuja akashika hiyo mkono yako akakwambia ufinye ama off? Kuna siku shetani alikwambia usifanye assignment ndio ukopi yani jina ya mwenzako? It is you yourself. So I want you to write down my small devils. What are these things which are stopping you from attaining that dream you want to attain? Good. You are making very good progress. I need five. Something. So I think I have my small devils. Yes, let me see yours. Thank you. You're making good progress. I like that. Yes, I want to see yours. Good. Yes, I want to see yours. Your small devils. I'm waiting for you. Bado umetusimamisha. I want this conversation to be serious. I want to see that. Write it down for that. Very quickly. Eyes. So, I'll just list down the small devils in no particular order, which I have seen. Number one, sleeping too much. Number two, low self-esteem. Number three, not focusing on my books. Number four, indiscipline. Number five, I've seen ignorance. Number six, I've seen cheating. I've seen someone who has indicated lust and relationships. I've seen another one who has indicated masturbation. I've seen someone who said joking too much. I've seen another one who says, I am weak in a particular subject. So far, I think we are having a good conversation. Gentlemen, so far I think we are having a good conversation. Do you know why? I think we are having a good conversation because, number one, you told me what you want to be. Secondly, you told me the targets which will take you to what you want to be. Senior. Number three, you have told me where you are today. And the good thing, you have told me what is making you to be where you are today. And at least you know yourself. So I'll just add on only one of the problems there. Sleeping. Because I've seen most of us are doing that. Senior? Why do you think we are sleeping? And I want to answer in the following scenario. I want to explain to you your three types of minds. And I want you to be very silent and listen to that statement. You have three minds. 3 in 1. You have your subconscious mind. Write that one down. You have your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind. S-U-B, then conscious mind. Then number 2, you have conscious mind. And then number 3, you have your superconscious mind. You have your number 1, subconscious. Number 2, conscious. And then number 3, the superconscious mind. Those 3 types or those parts of the mind contribute to your whole you. And let me tell you, this is what normally happens. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so he is. As a man thinketh, so he is. The way you think you are, that is actually you. And that is why I started from who among us is believing it is possible. Because the way you think, if you think you are dead, you are dead. If you think you are wrong, you are wrong. And let me tell you why the 3 parts of the mind contributes. So, I want you to do an experiment with me. Wangapi, wakati walikuwa nalala, they told themselves, kesho nataka kuamka 4 ama 5. Sawa? Then this is what happened. Your mind ikakuamsha 10 minutes to 5 or some few minutes to. Who has ever experienced something like that? Good. Let us do another experiment. Wangapi hapa, there is an exam they really wanted to pass. They really desired to pass that subject. And before to your time exam, kitu ikamwambia hapana, soma hii section, revise hii section, and you revised, na ukaenda kwa mtihani, iko hapo. Akakuja kukwambia usome. Wakati wewe ulilala ukasema unataka kuamka 5, your subconscious mind inashinda huko ikimonitor time. That is why inakuamsha 10 minutes tu. And then wewe ni mojinga, unaangalia unasema niko na dakika 10 naweza fika kidogo, uliamka saa ngapi? Kwa sababu subconscious mind yako ilikuwa imeshafanya part yake. Why am I sharing this? Because I want you to listen carefully. Those 3 parts of the mind contribute on your perception to things. And in this class, I want to see if any of us hate any particular subject. Without mentioning the subjects, if you hate any particular subject, I want you to raise up your hand. Yes, thank you. I want us to be honest. I'll tell you why. After us hate a particular subject, wangapi wanachukia subject fulani? Sijasema ni gani, sema tunachukia. Good. And I know what happens to the subject you hate. You fail. Now listen. This is what normally happens to the 3 minds. When the conscious mind, or when your perception says, care ni ngumu, subconscious mind inaenda kuambia the 2 other parts of the mind, care ni ngumu. You repeat the same sentence, care ni ngumu, inaenda kuambia care ni ngumu. Ikiwa inaitwa chemistry ni ngumu, unarudia hivyo tu bado. You are creating a perception to the 3 minds that chemistry ni ngumu. And naturally, a human being is lazy. So what will happen? Kitu ngumu inatolewa. So eventually the mind itaambiana hiki kinaitwa chem itolewe. Na mahali unasema maths ni tamu, the mind inaambiwa nini? Hiki kinaitwa maths ni tamu. So mahali chemistry imetolewa, nini inawekwa? Maths. And what is happening? You pass maths, you fail chem. And do you know what will happen? And something unfortunate will happen. You will have 3 A's, a B somewhere, na embedodo, na down your door. So you have 3 A's, melana, and some E's. What will happen to that boy? Mwalimu, Madam DOS, atakuwa anafanya hivi. Sikia results. Akona A3. Lakini hawezi akaenda university. Lakini wakati results zinatoka anaambia mimi bwana ni chopi basi. Umeona, lakini ameshika hizi za chini. Nilipata A ngapi? Mimi nachapa A, lakini ameshika za huko chini. Siku results ya university inakuja, jamaa hajaenda uni, anaulizwa mbona hujaenda uni? Nilionewa. Kuna mtu alikuonea ama ni wewe mwenyewe? So what is the solution? This is the solution. Guys, for you to become those careers you say, I want you to balance your subjects. And you don't have any reason to hate a subject or a teacher. Manielewa from course? You only have how many months? 1.5, sindio? You don't have any reason to hate a teacher. Juu hata ukichukia Madam Faith ama usipomchukia, at the end of this month, utapata mshahara. Yes. Hata ukimchukia ama usipomchukia. So who will suffer? Yeye ama wewe? So I want you to draw a big circle. Fungua next page. Fungua a big page. Let me help you. I want you to see what I'm doing now. So, I want you to have a big circle like this. Have you drawn the circle? Let me see. Inside the circle, I want you to listen English. I want you to draw another small circle. So I want you to draw this big circle. Then inside the circle, I want you to draw a smaller circle. Now, we are just continuing with your conversation. On top of that circle, I want you to write the career you say you want to achieve. I'll become your Sasachora Sakomina, just like that. So, no. See above, on top, upper two, outside the circle. Outside the circle, I want you to write the career you wanted to be. If you wanted to be a lawyer, write lawyer. Engineer, whatever. Yes, you. I want you to look at this. Angalia. You got a circle snapping? I want you to do that. Where? Put your hand. Now, at the center circle, I want you to write the grade you wanted to attain. Now, this one. So you have a circle. Inside the circle, you have a smaller circle here. And hapo juu umeandika what you want to achieve. So I want you to listen. Why are we empty that? Because that will form your big picture. So we say, I want to be an engineer. Let me use for the engineers. Sasa, I want to be an engineer. And for an engineer, no, and for me to get an A, then I have to get an A in English. I have to get an A in maths. So I think I have to get an A. So I'm going to use 3 subjects. Kwa sababu tulisema hiyo ndio ngumu. Nitawafundisha Chem, Maths na English. What is an A in this context? An A is 80%. That's all? An A is 80%. I want us to convert that 80% into decimal points. 80% into decimal points, 0.8. That statement is very important. And yet, tatumia. So, I repeat my statement. For me to become an engineer, I have to get an A. And for me to get an A, I have to get an A in English. And for me to get an A in English, I have to get 80%. Sawa? So, how do I get 80%? So, one conversation we are having in our examination skills is know your subjects. So English is made of how many papers? 3 papers. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. So gawa English into 3. That's why I say have a big circle. Now we need our 4 instructions. So English gawa into 3. So I need paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3. Paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3. So this is how my statement now reads. I want to be an engineer, then I have to get an A inside the circle, and for me to get an A inside the circle, it must be contributed by getting an A in English. And for me to get an A in English, I have to get an A in paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3. Separate. Tumeelewana hapo? Yes. So what is an A in paper 1? We mark paper 1 out of how many marks? 6, isn't it? Yes. So if I want to get an A out of 60, I have to multiply 60 by 0.8. The decimal point I told you. So you must get 48 over 60. So I take up 48 over 60. Paper 2 is marked out of 80 marks. So for you to score an A in English, you have to score an A in paper 2. And what is an A in paper 2? It is 80, you multiply by 0.8, which is 64. If you have to get an A in English, you have to get an A in paper 3. And paper 3 is marked out of 60 points. So you have to get 48 out of 60. Tunaelewana sasa? So boys, I want us to move even deeper. This is how my statement now reads. I want to be an engineer, so I have to get an A. And for me to get an A, I have to get an A in English. And for me to get an A in English, I have to get an A in paper 1. But what makes paper 1? Paper 1 is made of how many sections? Functional writing is section 1 out of 20 marks. So I write outside the cycle. Functional writing is out of 20 marks. The second part is close test out of 10 marks. And the third part is oral skills out of 30 marks. So for you to score an A in paper 1, you need to score an A in functional skills. And that means you need to score 20 times 0.8, which is 16 out of 20 in that composition. And I want you to score 0.8 times 10 in close test, which is 8 over 10 in that close test. And And that is 0.8 times 30. That is 24 out of 30. So Form how do we score an A? We score an A by becoming strategic. Melona? What I'm teaching you is pure hard work and smart work. I'll handle the other things later. So I want you to think, how do we score 16 out of 20? So there are two things I want you to do if you are serious about scoring that. I want you today to ask yourself, how many functional writing compositions do we have from Form 1 to Form 4? Who can answer that one? 33. Good. Who wants to do another? Another guess? Another? Yes? Yes? 20. Good. So that is the assignment I want you to have. Assignment number 1. If you are in Form 4 today and you are serious about passing functional writing, I want you to go and look how many functional writings are there from Form 1 to Form 4. And I want you to do me a favor by doing the second part of the question. What kind of a functional writing scores 16 over 20? I'm teaching you strategy. So I want you to think like an examiner. Thinking like an examiner, mwalimu saidie Scanner English mahali. Okay, I think it's not there. So in Scanner English, for example, you will see at the back, or even in your compositions, you will see what kind of a composition, what kind of a functional writing scores 16 out of 20. And I want you to do this if you want to be serious about getting an A. I want you to write a composition which looks like that. And for paper 1, it is very simple. Paper 1, you just need to understand the format of that functional writing. And you are going to get 6 to 7 marks. That's why I told you I want you to think like an examiner. Just by writing the correct format. For example, you have been told your friend Brian is having visitors, and he quickly wants to prepare a kind A of a food. Kindly send him an email. Kindly send him an email showing him how he can prepare one of your best meals. How many formats do we need to master there? How many? 2. We need to know how to write a recipe, and we need to know how to write an email. Meaning, if you know how to write an email and you know how to write a recipe, you will get 7 marks. Hata ndani ukiandika mathomofanio, so long as you have written the format correctly in paper 1, you will have 7 marks. So what did I do as Patrick? This is what I did. I took the 33 compositions and I wrote from the textbooks 2 examples of each. And just by doing that, I add the format in me. Ungeniletea memo, ningeandika. Uniletee telegram, ningeandika. Uniletee email, whatever. Because I've done how many examples? 2. And that is what I want you to go go and do for me today. Then, I want you to get books. You can see here. Quality of essay. If you want to get 16 over 20. So I want you to note, if you want to get an A, actually A plus, kwa wale ambao kuna wenye wanapata A plus, wanapata 19 to 20 marks in their functional writing. Wale wanataka A plain ni 18, wale wa A minus 16 to 17, wale wa B plus 14 to 15, B plain 13, B minus 11 to 12, 01 to 02, D minus. So I want you to listen at the quality of an A plus. Excellent, complete command of language, reader absolutely possessed, just one or two minor slips. They have several many ticks of both the sentence and the word types. So that is your assignment if you want to get an A in functional writing. Write such a composition. Melana? Closest. You want to have 8 over 10. How do you do it? I want you to be intentional in your revision. When was the last time you did a close test exercise? That is a personal question to ask yourself. If you are serious about getting that A, then it is time to go back and revise intentionally from now. Unaelewana? Yes. Let's go to paper 2. Paper 2 has how many sections? Almost. Paper 2 has how many sections? 4, senior. Question number 1 is unseen text or an unseen excerpt. It is an excerpt which has not been seen anywhere. Sawa? Out of how many marks? You guys, I want you to change and be good boys from today. And that exam number 1 is marked out of how many marks? Exam number 2 is marked out of how many marks? And it is called a seen text. Because it is an excerpt from the compulsory what? Sentence. And if you see an excerpt from the play, do you expect the compulsory question in paper 3 to come from the play? No. Grammar. That is part 3. And oral literature. So it can be poetry, it can be oral literature. That is how you can pick that A. So let's go to maths very quickly. If you want to get an A in maths, how many papers do we have? 2, isn't it? Paper 1 and paper 2. I want you to write that. That way you go. Paper 1 and paper 2. Out of how many marks total? Yeah? 100, isn't it? Yes. So if you want to get an A in paper 1, what do you need to do? You have an 8, isn't it? Yes. How do you get an 8 in paper 1? We have to get an 8 in section 1 and section 2. So I take a section 1, gawa paper 1 into section 1 and section 2. Wewe. Nasema nini? Yes. Gawa section 1 and paper 1 into section 1 and section 2. You see what you have done? So I want you to tell me, you have an 8. So section 1 is marked out of how many marks? How many marks? 50, isn't it? So you got an A marks. Section 1, paper 1. You should get 40 out of 50. And section B, you should get 40 out of 50. So remember, I'm just using my example again. Let me see. So for a purpose, what brings our paper 1? Maths. Which form and which form? Form 1 and form 2. Which makes our paper 2? Form 3 and form 4. Nice. How many of us want to get an A maths? Let me see. Good. I want you to do the following for me then. How many topics do we have in maths from form 1 to form 4?